Hello there. I always want to say hi, guys, because that's what so many people say when they do these videos. But to me, it almost sounds like if I say that, I sound like a drunk person trying to convince somebody I'm not drunk. It's just something that does not naturally come out. Hi, guys. I do. I feel like I'm drunk and trying to convince you I'm not. Um, Totally off the subject, but I was just thinking about that. um, I have been so busy. This is the last week before my kids go back to school. I had two different open houses today that I had to go to, and they were both from 4 to 6 at two different schools. So it's been a pretty hectic afternoon. And now that I've been to those, I have a mountain of paperwork to fill out, and it seems like you fill out the same form 3 or 4 times. I mean, it might be for different departments, but it seems like you have to put in the same basic information over and over and over for the same kid at the same school. They will ask for name, address, date of birth, contact numbers, but it's slightly different forms, but you have to fill them all out. So I'm trying to work on getting all that done. I try to get it done before the first day of school so that I can put everything nice and neat back in the little folder and send it, with my kids to school on the first day, and then it's all done. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I don't have straggling forms here and there. But it's a lot of work. I mean, it'll probably take me 45 minutes to sit down and fill out all these forms for both of them. So I started working on that a little bit earlier this evening after dinner, and I'll probably finish it up tomorrow when I get home from work. Um, but I was not able to do a video. I have a couple in mind I want to do, but I just can't do them because there's just too much going on. The week before school starts is always crazy. Like, I had the school supply lists of all the things that they need, and I went and bought everything and took what I do. I buy the stuff before school starts. I'll go online and go to the website, the school's website, and find the stuff. I'll find the lists. I'll buy everything, and I'll take everything with me to open house, and then I can drop it off, and we're done with that. But this year, both of them, their homeroom teachers had more stuff. They each had an additional list of stuff that I am expected to deliver. So I'm going to have to go shopping again over the weekend, I guess, and buy more stuff. So I'm already, I bet by now I've probably already spent at least, I want to say $75 on stuff. And looking at the two lists I got today, it's probably going to be at least another 50. So, but yeah, that's what I have to do that this weekend. So, I mean, there's a lot going on. I'm trying to go through their clothes, figure out what I need to buy, looking at their shoes, just a lot of things. I still have to go to work every day. So, there just hasn't really been any spare time. And last night, I was going to try to do a video last night, and I came in my room and I laid down for just a second. I don't even remember why I laid down. I just got the kids in the bed, and I lay down on the bed for just a second, and the next thing I knew, it was like 11 o'clock at night. I had fallen asleep, and I probably fell asleep about 9:30, or maybe 9. So I slept for 2 hours without even meaning to, and I'm really run ragged here. It seems like the last week of summer before they go back to school is just really crazy, and this year's kind of going the same. So, but I am taking a couple days off the end of the week next week, so I'll have a really long weekend. I already have Labor Day off, but then I'm taking a few days off before that. So my plan at this point is to try to get some ugly Christmas sweaters listed, because I have at this point, I think I have 7 pretty good sized totes crammed full of sweaters that I need to list. So I want to go ahead and get started, so I can hopefully get some of the totes out of the apartment and get them out of the way, and make a few bucks maybe. So I'm going to be working on that next week while I'm off. But I also want to get started on a project that I mentioned earlier, which is doing a series of videos that would be me reading the story that I wrote. And I mentioned it in my video, So You Want to Be a Writer. And I've been thinking about different ways I could do this, and I'm stumped. I'm not really sure how to do the visual for it. I don't know. Would you rather have just a video of me, the actual words on the page, and me reading them, or do you want to see me reading it? If that makes any sense. Do you want to be able to see a close up of the text, or do you want to see me reading it? And I'm really kind of looking for feedback because I don't know how to do this. I mean, I could alternate, I could do some one way and some the other way. It doesn't really matter. I mean, there's so much that it's over 700 pages. There's plenty of text. There's going to be plenty of video. So I could do it multiple ways actually. But I'm looking for ideas on the best way to do it because I really don't know. I still have not found anything like a drafting table, like if you know what a drafting table is. And I'm looking for one that rolls. I know there are different kinds. There's stationary ones that are just like a desk with a top that tilts up, but there's some on wheels, and I'm looking for one on wheels, and I see them all the time in Goodwill. Believe it or not, I bet I've seen a dozen of them in there. But you watch. Now that I want one, I won't find another one. That's just the way it seems to go. I've looked at a few of them on Amazon, and I could probably get one that would work for about $50, I guess. I mean, that's doable. It's kind of rough though, because when I find them in Goodwill, they're like $5. That's a whole lot better. But I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I do want one because I think that would be more comfortable for me to sit and read. That way I don't have it, flat on my lap. I'm not bent over as far. So I think it would be more comfortable for me to read it that way. But I don't know how you want to see this. I mean, if you're interested in watching or listening to the story, how would you want to see that? I mean, what kind of visual presentation would you like? I mean, and I'm going to do it in a normal voice just like this. I'm not going to do it whispered or soft spoken. It's just going to be me reading like I normally talk, this is basically how I talk most of the time, unless I'm mad or something. I don't know. Most of the time I talk like this. So, but I need some help. I need some advice. If I do want to get started on that sometime in the next week, maybe before I take a couple days off, I might actually start ahead of time. Before then, if I get a chance to, if I can stop falling asleep every time I get still, that would be good. It's weird though because I'm nervous about it. I have the worst case of stage fright. I've never read this thing out loud. Ever. Even to myself, I don't think I've ever read any of it out loud. It's all been just on paper. I've never heard it out loud. And it makes me really nervous to think about reading it. It's basically like stage fright, I guess. So I'm going to have to get over that. I'm just going to do it. And if it's no good, it's no good. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to start with an introduction. I think the first video there will be two sections. We'll have the first section, which will be an introduction to the not really an introduction, but sort of a series of disclaimers for the story, because this is not your typical lighthearted story. It has some darker elements to it, and it might not sit well with some people. I don't know, but I'll get into all that later. So I'm going to have the first section will just be me talking about what kind of story it is. I don't want to give away a lot. I think I'm probably going to have to, but I'm going to try not to. I don't want to give away a lot of the interesting, juicy stuff in the plot. But I want people to know what they're getting into. If you want to listen to this, it's wonderful. I hope you do. I hope you enjoy it. But you do need to know going into it that there's some stuff about it that may make you uncomfortable. Maybe. Maybe not. So we'll do that. And then I think after that, I will do the first segment. And I don't know how many chapters I want to have per video. I'm not really sure about that yet. There are over 100 chapters. And I don't know how long it will take me to read each one. Each chapter is a different length. I mean, they're not all the same length. So, I don't know. I'm figuring this out as I go. It's just like I wrote, that's how I wrote the story. I figured it out as I went along. I didn't have any idea how it was going to turn out. I didn't know what was going to happen to the characters. I had no idea where it would go. And that's kind of how these videos are going to go. I may have to just tweak things and change them as I go along. But any input that you might have as far as, or if you have any other ideas, I mean, that's all I've been able to come up with is either I can, like I just did a whisper video of me reading a magazine 2 days ago, I think. And the reason I made that video was just practice, because I'll show you in a second. I'll actually turn you and show you what I set up because it's right in front of me. I had to find a way, and it took a lot of fiddling around with it to get it to work, but I had to find a way to angle the camera where it was directly over the magazine, and it took some doing. But here's what I came up with, and it worked okay, but it didn't turn out as good as I had hoped. But I'll show it to you. That right there, okay, the camera was actually attached here, and I had it kind of swiveled, and I had my chair, so my chair was like right below it, and there's some props over there. There's a wig and some baby toys. I swear if anybody ever broke in here, they'd think I was some kind of freak, some of the crazy stuff in here. See the tripods down there. One dangling from the lamp. See the lamp? So I had it like that. Let me get you back over here. Not look at my nasty room. So I had it dangling like that, so it could, that way you could actually see what I was reading, and I had it turned the right way so it wasn't upside down. But that was as close as I could get it without the camera practically being in my lap. I mean, I needed it to be where I could comfortably sit and read, but where you could also see what I was reading. And the reason I did that was because I'm trying to get an idea for how I would do it if I did it that way with my story. I might do something like that. I don't know. I'm no expert at this kind of stuff. This is definitely not my field of expertise. I have no training in any of this stuff. So, do you want to see me read the story? Because one drawback to that is that I always have to look presentable. I mean, you know, I can't just get out of the shower and put on some pajamas and put my hair up in a towel, you know. I'll have to pay attention to how I look when I read it, which I guess isn't the end of the world, but it kind of cramps my style because I make all these videos at night after I get home from work and get the kids situated and get them in the bed. Like right now, it's, you know, it's late and I have other things I should probably be doing. But if I ever look like I've been rode hard and put up wet, that's why. Because a lot of these videos get made at like midnight on a Tuesday night when I really should be asleep. And I've worked all day and picked up my children and come home and, you know. So if I ever look rough, that's probably why. And then I have to get up at 6:30 the next morning and go to work and do it all over again. I really want to read this story. I do. It scares me to death. And that's part of the reason why I want to do it. Because it's so scary. I've never done it. You know, I've let close family members read it. But even then, it's only been a few. Almost nobody's read it. So it's kind of scary to think about, you know, people hearing it. It freaks me out a little bit. But I'm going to do it, and that's part of the reason why I'm going to do it. It's because it's scary. I'm sorry. I think every now and then it does you good to do something that scares the daylights out of you. Do something that's truly horrifying. I don't mean like handle a rattlesnake or anything, but, you know, just something that breaks you out of your comfortable little bubble that you live in. And this is definitely going to do that. I don't even know how I'm going to read some of it. I mean, some of it, like, there are court transcripts in this book. How the heck am I supposed to read court transcripts? I don't know. I'm going to have to figure it out as I go. I don't have any idea how I'm going to read it and have it make any sense at all. But I'm going to try. And I'm going to do the best I can. I will say, as I mentioned in my previous video about being a writer, a lot of it is fiction. Some of it is very obviously fiction. I mean, you can, I'm not going to have to explain that it's not real. But some of it is very real. Some of it did happen, not necessarily to me, but I interviewed dozens of people who were part of something, and this was after the fact. And a lot of research went into this story, and a lot of it is very real. And I will probably get emotional, whether I like it or not, because it was very real. And we're just going to have to overlook that and carry on. That's the way I see it. But I do want to get started on it. I want to do this. And any input you have, any ideas as far as layout, as far as the audio, not the audio, but the video, would be welcome. Any thoughts, any ideas would be welcome. So I may actually start on it tomorrow night, if possible. I'm motivated to get started on it. I want to do it. I'm going to do it. So maybe I'll actually get started tomorrow night. And just because I start a certain way doesn't mean I have to keep doing it that way as far as the visual part. I mean, I can start it a certain way and then change it to something else. There really are no rules. That's one thing I love about doing these videos. You can do them any way you want. Doesn't matter. As long as people like them. But I think no matter how I do it, it's kind of like any ASMR video. No matter how you do it, there are going to be people who love it and there are going to be people who hate it. You can't make everybody happy. So I accept that, and I just hope that people will listen to it, because I worked really hard on it. I think it's a decent story. Could it have been better? Yeah, probably. But there's good information there, and I hope people will listen to it. So I'm going to do it. No matter how long it takes, it's going to take a lot of videos. It's going to take a lot of time. So I'm just trying to find the best way to do it. And that's about it. I'm going to get ready for bed now because it's really late and I have a big old frog in my throat. Probably because I'm tired and it's been a long day. I had to work all day and then rush to 2 different open houses at 2 different schools, and I'm tired. I'm tired. So, anyway, please leave your comments below if you want to. If you don't have any comments, you don't have to comment. It's all right. I look forward to hearing from you, and I appreciate you watching my stuff. I do. I enjoy doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it, and I hope to see you more. I hope to do more. I hope to do different kinds of stuff. And I hope next week, while I'm off work, I can make some different types of videos. I want to do a hair cutting video, and I have everything I need to make it. I just haven't done it. I want to do a mother-baby role play. There's all this stuff I want to do. I just have to find time to do it. And I want to list some ugly Christmas sweaters. I could do a show and tell on some of those. I mean, my God, I could do a 6-hour-long show and tell Christmas sweater video. I have literally, oh my God, I bet I have 200 Christmas sweaters. Holy cow. Yeah, I could spend all day showing you those. Anyway, good things ahead, scary things ahead, but that's why they're good to me. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again. And don't forget to leave your comments if you want to.